Film, gaming, pop culture. Welcome to episode 36 of Everything is Permitted here at Wade's Comic Madness. I'm your host, Julian Brown, alongside my co-host, the Man of Steel, Matt Reppert, the Master of Puns, Brittany Tomes, and our very special guest, EIP Producer, Niki Veasey.
Hi, everyone.
How we doing, guys?
Good.
I'm feeling great after watching that movie, not gonna lie.
I'm ready to go on a magical journey with you people.
The journey brought my cold back in full swing. I'm having a flop sweat here right now.
Ironically, the Rock had a lot of the same sweat.
You're not sweating like The Rock, though,
I'm
unfortunately.
definitely not sweating like The Rock.
Somebody
and thank
gently
God
missed
for that.
a V on him.
Mr. Johnson, I'm here to spray your sweat.
That's also what they say sometimes on the set of other movies.
Just watch the Pecks. They jiggle.
Pop, pop.
I'm here to tweak your nipples.
Oh, God.
Niki, you were one of our Kickstarter backers, and you're going to be doing the whole show with us today, which is very exciting. And you also have the very distinct honor to be the first person to ever run the Permitted Minute Gauntlet by themselves. So good luck to you. You did practice, which I was not happy about.
I'm a theater geek. You sent me lines.
I did. It's true.
This is not my fault.
She says she
Most
could.
esteemed, most honored.
Most
yes.
esteemed, yes. She says that she can do it in 56 seconds. So we will be getting to that a little bit
All
later.
right.
But
Okay.
Nikki,
Yes.
welcome back to the show.
Thank you.
The
Glad to
last
be
time
here.
we had you on, we talked about the
of
Marvel,
Thrones.
Yeah, the Marvel exhibit.
Yep, which was really fun. We're gonna get right into it in just a second. On today's show, we are bringing back the return of
The Raiders of the Bargain Bin.
Raiders of the Bargain Bin, and Nikki had the high esteem of picking that movie for us, which is Journey to the Mysterious Island.
Best $50 ever.
Best $50 ever. And we'll talk about it when we get down there, but it
Yes.
is worth mentioning that it is a Best Buy bargain bin movie.
Yes.
Oh.
Dun, 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 dun.
So-
It's The Rock.
Yes, exactly. Also, we are going to be breaking down the Star Wars Rise of Skywalker trailer coming out in just a few short weeks. And we have our tickets to do our Dolby podcast screening. I'm very excited. Quick sidebar. So King of Prussia in the Regal United Artists there, Karen and I and our friends Simon and Britta have a tradition of going to see all these movies together. So we go see it in King of Prussia. And I was trying to get tickets for IMAX because that's where we've seen it every year. And they weren't there. And I just bought regular standard seats for us. And
With the common peasantry,
with
sir?
the common peasants. I almost bought 40X.
I bite my thumb at you, so.
All the people who are bringing their kids to the theater to get out of the house on Christmas Day.
Yes, exactly.
Catch me hanging from the rafters like an Ewok.
Yeah.
Or doing my little Tusken Raider.
It turns out that the IMAX at King of Prussia is under renovation. Oh. But I think what happened is somebody forgot to hit the button saying that the renovations are going to be complete by the time Star Wars comes out, because 48 hours later, the IMAX tickets were up. And Simon luckily was looking and was like, hey, dude, no one was looking for them. So we got IMAX tickets really easily. So seeing IMAX on Thursday, Dolby with you guys on Saturday, and it's going to be a blast.
Are just out of curiosity, are you going to be sitting there when watching and be like, I really like this part, Matt, and I'm just going to punch you in the face?
Do you really think I would do that?
Yes.
Yes.
No, I am not that. Who talks during movies in this room?
We just spent the last hour and a half.
Do you remember
talking-
Zombieland? And It? And everything we've seen together in the movies?
That's why I'm looking at you right now.
We're not
Hold on.
loud talkers, to be fair.
Hold on. We all know what I'm going to do when we see Star Wars.
Because you were just doing it?
It's going to open. There's going to be a musical cue. And the first time there's like a film score from the original ones, I'm just going to start bawling immediately.
So we got to bring a box of tissues for Brittany.
I might cry during the music too, because John Williams is my homeboy.
That's what makes me cry so much about this trailer, man.
The music.
The music, and then... Okay, we'll get into it. I'll explain,
We will.
I'll explain every moment and why I cry at the specific moments.
Before we get into the Permitted Minute and then the entirety of our show, we're going to do our rants and raves, and we are going to start with our guest, Nikki.
Oh, good.
Rant or rave?
I'm going to rant, and it's just going to be something that everybody has said a million times, but just let people enjoy things. We are getting into, autumn, pumpkin spice season, winter, minter, whatever. And there's a whole bunch of people who are like, oh my God, you're so basic. It's like, you know what? Makes people happy. Let people alone.
A lot of basic things make people happy.
Julian.
Like, the basic cost of living, if we had basic needs and necessities met,
Exactly.
everybody would be happy.
Nobody could see it, but Julian was pointing at himself the whole time.
I am a basic white bitch pumpkin spice latte drinker. I have the creamer at home. We were drinking
Julian's blood is made of that creamer. I swear to
I'm
God.
sweating it out right now.
I've said it before. Like IPAs are to basic white boys what pumpkin spice is to basic white girls. So
Julian, didn't you recently try White Claw and you hashtag loved it?
I did not hashtag loved it, but I did love it.
So that's basically my rant. Let people enjoy things, whether it be a drink, whether it be playing Dungeons and Dragons when you think you're too old.
Nobody's
Cosplay.
Too old. Nobody's
Just-
too old for D&D. There's like 900-year-old wizards in that game. Come on.
Exactly. Let people enjoy their shit.
Half your stuff is based on D&D.
I'm gonna refresh your memory here because since you don't get to come on the show often, I'm gonna give you a little extra time. There was something else, even though it's like decades old at this point, that you wanted to maybe rave about.
Oh.
Do you remember? We were drinking whiskeys and apple cider last night, so
Oh, fuck. Maybe I had too much whiskey and apple cider. What did I want to rant about?
Captain Jack Sparrow.
Oh, yes. I don't.
got a job to
I don't think Pirates of the Caribbean gets enough love. I think people give it a lot of shit, and it is one of my background movies that I need to clean, and I need fun background noise. I always reach for Pirates of the Caribbean, and
It's got a really good soundtrack.
it does.
I just used it last night
Yes.
for D&D when we fought a Kraken. I was like, oh, Pirates of the Caribbean. That's
that
all you
was
need.
perfect.
I saw Hans Zimmer do it live when he did his tour, and
love Hans.
it was him and John Williams are my spirit music animals.
What about Danny Elfman? How dare you?
I love Danny Elfman, but John
But he's,
Williams
like,
and Hans
quirky.
Zimmer are just brilliant. This didn't come up randomly though. We were watching the season finale of Ink Master, and one of the artists did their finale tattoo. It's 35-hour back piece as like a hot big boobed pirate princess.
She was no Elizabeth Swan.
She was no Elizabeth
no.
Swan, but I was
Keira
just saying.
Knightley or nah.
I was just saying because I was watching that, and then there's an article about how this is funny. One of the producers or writers from Chernobyl is rebooting Pirates of the Caribbean
Again.
again.
Wait, what?
Yeah, exactly.
I thought the
Dos
last movie
Vidania,
was actually stronger.
It was
than-
definitely better than the previous
than
one.
the previous sequel.
The stupid one with Penelope Cruz.
Yes.
Chernobyl.
So like the first three I'm down with.
the name of the ship.
Penelope Cruz one
Chernobyl.
I could leave. But I thought the last one was good, and then I will admit when Will Turner came into her bedroom at the very end of the movie, I screamed bloody murder inside the theater. I was like, "Oh my god, they're back together!"
That made everything worthwhile. I did like
The
that
music
scene.
score starts to swell and rise, and it's like, let's get it on.
But would they redo the Jack Sparrow character? I'm kind of confused.
No,
by
I
this.
think it's like they're not. It's not going to be like a sequel anymore. I think it's just going to be like a fresh story, probably with
Like
Jack.
same
Expanding the universe.
same universe, different characters.
I don't know if you could do Pirates without Jack Sparrow though.
No. And I think Johnny Depp is, despite the fact that he's kind of a horrible human being half the time, he is excited to do movies that his kids can go see.
Well, yeah, there's that. I really wish I had a Jack Sparrow soundbite on here right now. I did not think ahead. God damn it.
Captain Jack Sparrow.
Always gone.
But you have heard of me.
Yep, but you have heard of me. You're the worst part I've ever heard of. I love it.
Sticks and stones, love.
But the jar of dirt gets me every time.
I got a jar of dirt.
Guess what's inside
Jesus.
it?
I love those movies. Like
When you run away from the
full-on, all
cannibals,
three.
I'm like, what is this film?
Good raves.
Don't lie, you've all
good
seen it
rants,
in
good
theaters.
raves. I like it.
Thank you.
We'll just go in a circle here. Matt.
So I'm going to rave. I purchased The Outer Worlds and the new Call of Duty Modern Warfare. Modern Warfare looks very nice. I've played a little bit of it. Outer Worlds is freaking fun. I love it so much. If you've liked Fallout New Vegas, you're going to love this game because it is made by the same people. It has some of the same game mechanics. It has the quirky humor. It has all the fun. It has the fun locations and all that. I've gotten like a couple hours into it, and I am loving the hell out of it. And I hope it does well. I hope that it actually kind of starts a new like gaming franchise, if you will, because there's so much stuff they could do with this, and it's, as I said, it's so much fun.
It's funny that you brought up playing new games because this is something we're going to talk about in a couple of weeks when Billy Peets comes back on to do the subject that he did for our Kickstarter campaign. He's going to come on and talk about it, about like games as a service and not having a lot of time to like play other games.
Yeah.
I want it, like I got Control and I want to play it, but like all I'm doing right now is playing Destiny. I don't have the time to play other things, or I don't want to play other things right now.
I mean, I still play Destiny, and probably I'm going to try and complete the raid tonight. I started it the other day, and I actually the group I was with, most of us had never done it, but we were also doing the quest to get the exotic.
Oh, to get Divinity.
Divinity, yeah. We actually were doing good, but like I ran out of time. It was like 4 a.m.
Oh, fuck.
And I was like, I gotta go to bed, guys. Like, I'm sorry, but but now at least I kind of dipped my foot in the raid water, at least. So
where did you get?
We did the thing where it's like 1, 2, 3. It's like that. Almost like there's like 4 locations, and there's like people have to move between like 2 of them.
Is it before the moats? Probably. If you didn't get to the moat part,
no, we were at the moat.
Okay.
We were at the moat part.
Okay.
Yeah, dude, he made the moats of his time.
Mother of God.
They call her the pun master for
I
a
usually
reason.
just say Jesus Christ when I make my jokes, and I'm like, no, my child.
I
I use an Obi-Wan voice for Jesus.
Hello there.
I forgot you had that one.
Oh yeah. I kind of interrupted you and went on a side.
You're good. And I know Brittany is interested in the Outer Worlds. And
I am. I'm already sold because of your review.
Yeah, it's a very fun game. Like if I owned it on PlayStation, I would have brought it over for you to try it. But,
Nice.
So
It's gonna be outer this world. Dude, you gave me coffee. I don't know what you expected.
Boo! Boo! Boo!
It goes on like slightly longer than I think it's
I
gonna.
think
and I
that
feel
you
so
set a
much-
record
Yeah.
for the amount of times I've done a soundbite for you in one show. Like you did like 3 puns in a matter of 2.5 minutes. What is wrong with you today?
That's not even my ultimate form.
No.
That's not my final form.
Shameless plug here. That's the Sons of Ben coffee, ladies and gentlemen. No coffee,
wonder
no
I'm so
party.
hype. I'm ready for like to scream through an entire soccer match.
Sorry. Brittany, rant or rave?
Oh, I got 2 little raves. So one rave I want to give is I really like what video game companies are doing right now when they like will push back release dates or give their creators more time to work on projects rather than overworking them, because like the crunch is real in the gaming industry, and I know you guys have talked about it before.
yeah.
But you all know I'm a big Last of Us fan. I was excited because I was like, it came out in the week I called it on right after my birthday, but they announced that they're moving the date back to May. I immediately was like, you know what? I'm okay with this. Gives me more time before, I have to deal with the second game. I'm very excited for it, but also I'm like, oh God, I don't want it to end. But at the same time, I'm really happy that they're giving their developers more time and the people that are working on the game more time to fine tune it, and they're not like killing them to get it out by a certain date and like have all these amazing things happen, and maybe it's not exactly what they want to see. So I know a few other games have been doing that as well. I know it's rough to hear like dates being pushed back, but that's why more and more games are waiting even longer to do their official dates, I think.
A couple games got pushed back.
Yeah, a couple.
Like Watch Dogs Legions got pushed
and
back.
Doom.
Last
We
of
talked
Us
about
2.
Doom and the Permitted Minute. Listen, I'm with you on this. I think that these companies are being more mindful of how they're treating their employees, and they also realize that like there is instant feedback now.
Mm-hmm.
Look what's happening with WWE 2K20. They're getting refunds. People are getting refunds for that game. It is that bad. It was released completely broken. And the hashtag WWE 2K20 is broken was trending worldwide.
Oh wow.
Broken like Batman's back in Nightfall, which might as well have been like a wrestling scene if we think about it. It's like,
Yeah, Bane, man.
Oh, you want to know a fun fact?
I do.
You know how DC and Marvel right now are doing like weird little reprints of like older stories?
Yeah, I have that book.
The
I haven't read it
Nightfall
yet.
one, the very first one they sent out, I don't know if you guys know about this or not, but the printing was wrong. They mixed up like 2 of the pages. So the actual scene where he snaps his back is out of order. So mid-dialogue, he just randomly snaps Batman's back. And then, then the next, I kid you not, the next page, he's doing the thing where he lifts him over his head and then like says like more of
Yeah.
the dialogue first and then dramatically bring, like it's out of order.
That's funny.
And it just cuts to him laying on the ground like completely destroyed. And I was like, did they snap his back and then say the dramatic dialogue? And then he's like,
Oh,
so yeah,
man.
Wade was like, yeah, they're going to send another printout. And I was like, this is so bad.
But listen, they did this with Destiny Shadowkeep. It was supposed to release in September. They pushed it back to, I think it was October 1st, right? I was fine with it. Like, put out the final product.
I remember my second rave now. So it was another little rave. So I'm playing through Borderlands. Sorry, guys, I work like 60 hours a week. so I
Slowly
don't
but
have much
surely,
time.
that's fine.
And I do it with my brother, so it's whenever we both have free time. And they like released their little Halloween stuff. So I like when games do cute little things. So there's like pumpkins everywhere and like the different maps. And when you kill certain characters, well, bad guys, not like other characters.
Yeah.
But when you kill some of the enemies, they'll turn into like ghosts. And like to be these floating like flaming skulls like from D&D, and it'll just like fly at you. And if you get hit, then like your accuracy's down. So I don't know. It made it kind of really fun because I like that one Dr. Zed /Ned / whatever.
Yeah.
DLC they had with like the monster stuff. So it's cool.
I've yet to play a Borderlands. I will one day when I have time and, children that are a little older and not trying to kill me.
That's fine.
Yeah.
As you couldn't get
yeah.
through Journey 2 without them being like, "Wah!"
We had to put the Lego movie on. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Cecily was saying the floor was lava while we're trying to watch Journey 2 with the gold exploding, blah blah blah, which we'll get to.
We'll get to that. Don't worry about that.
I'm not gonna lie, I lavaed it a lot. I
don't have time
I
to
know you
change
don't.
to
I'm
another
sorry.
button because you've made so many fucking
Yo,
puns.
I just want to say his kids are iconic. I support them both for life. Like I stand those kids. They're the most hilarious. Your baby was cake drunk. Cecily's just like always all over the place, like the biggest drama queen. I love it.
No, Cecily is going to rule the world.
She is.
I will vote for
Well,
her.
that means a lot, though, guys. Thank you. That was fun yesterday.
It was.
It was.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was fun.
We learned that babies don't care what presents you give them. They just like the
They
balloons.
just want balloons.
Balloons and eating as much as possible in 3 hours.
That cake drunk picture is iconic, though, Nikki.
I
so
I got so lucky with that photo because he was being ridiculously adorable and his eyes were like super wide open when I went to take the photo, and by the time it actually took, it was just like cake drunk.
Amazing. I have a quick rant. One, I'm very much sold since I met Karen. Before I met Karen, I'd never flown Southwest Airlines yet. And I don't think that they had been as prominent, obviously, as they are now. But I'm a avid Southwest Airlines flyer. I fly them whenever I can. If you don't know, the Union won their first ever playoff game this past Sunday, and I went to Atlanta to go see the semifinal against Atlanta United FC. And Nikki was already coming up here for Caleb's birthday, and I said, Nikki,
Yes.
I'm coming down to Atlanta, and we're going to fly back together.
And I said I am not surprised in any shape, way, or form.
No. So I flew Southwest there, and everything was fine and dandy and great. Well, Nikki and I had to take separate flights and go completely different paths back to Philadelphia, which is hilarious in its own right. She flew Southwest back. I flew American Airlines. Now, listen, I never have good experiences with American Airlines. They are basically becoming like basic bitch economy, like Frontier and Spirit. So I thought it would be a good idea to not spend any of the extra money because I was basic economy. I could pay to get a good seat, or I could just let them assign me a seat right before the flight. So I do that, and that's fine. My first flight to Charlotte, the little AC things, it was on, but dude, I was sweating my ass off on the flight. I'm like, oh, it must be because I'm still sick. But no, man, I saw people walking up and down the plane to go to the bathroom, being sweat. I'm like, but then I get on the next flight from Charlotte to Philly, and I'm like, the air works. So American Airlines, listen to me. I know that you are trying to cut down costs and everything, but don't skimp on the AC, man.
Yeah, don't do that to Union fan because then you're duping them and not in the way they want to be duped.
And they'd already been duped once this weekend.
Yeah.
Oh, you're really going to do that to us, huh?
Hey,
Miss
but at least
Atlanta United
we got a
fan?
playoff game.
You brought it up.
So you might as well have won the World Cup in Philly.
I know, but my part of my other rant too is listen, people are already miserable being on your shitty airline. Don't be a stewardess or steward Nazi, okay? Don't be that person who is turn down your volume on your headphones, sir, or check your seat back even though it's all the way up. Press the button again. Shut the fuck up.
My mom would punch you in the face. You called her a stewardess.
I know,
flight
it's
attendant, so-
flight attendant now. Whatever. Whatever.
I briefly considered becoming a flight attendant for my language skills, but then I was like, I have to wear lipstick so people can read my lips better to know the exits. And I have to dress
one
like
of these days, I'll tell you guys a bunch of my mom's stories.
You should have her on.
Yeah.
You can come
I
and
mean,
talk about it.
I don't know if my mother legit believes that nobody will believe her stories, all the people she's met.
Oh, I
will
could
Oh, I
believe just
believe
about
it.
anything
Yeah.
that happens on an
and
airplane.
my mother actually flew in the time when the flight attendants were supposed to be available, or women would check their bras and stuff like that. My mom lived through all that,
And you could
so.
smoke on planes.
Wait,
Oh,
did
yeah.
she ever meet anybody famous? Because
Yeah.
my German friend, her
She's
mom's
met.
a flight
She
stewardess.
has met the few that I remember. She's met JFK Jr., Jackie Chan, Mr. Rogers, Nancy Reagan.
Those are some she needs to be on and talk about that. I
Yeah.
just know somebody who met Hugh Jackman, and she's like, he's so nice.
Yeah, well, my mother said, Fred Rogers was exactly what you imagined him to be. She's
It's a wonderful day in this.
Yeah, she's
flat
being
today.
in his presence was the most calming thing ever. So
Probably like being wrapped in a sweater.
All right, guys. Well, if that's it for rants and raves, it is time for the first ever Permitted Minute Gauntlet. Nikki, are you ready?
I am ready.
All right, we're gonna go here in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Mr. Gatus, start the clock.
The upcoming Obi-Wan series for Disney Plus will reportedly be 6 episodes, with star Ewan McGregor stating he's been looking forward to playing the character closer to how Alex Guinness portrayed him. Naughty Dog has delayed the much-anticipated release of The Last of Us Part 2, now releasing on May 29th, 2020. In the wake of shocking allegations against Jeremy Renner, Disney Marvel, without making any official moves yet, are trying to figure out whether to recast or drop Clint Barton from the upcoming Hawkeye series. Sticking with Marvel, Cloak and Dagger has been canceled by Freeform after 2 seasons. In what seemed like an absolutely petty move, Disney has been denying requests from movie theaters to screen classic 20th Century Fox films. Meanwhile, Kevin Feige and the Russo brothers will guest star on an upcoming episode of former Fox property The Simpsons. Finally, Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker has broken Fandango's previous Star Wars ticket sales records, even beating out The Force Awakens. We guess people really didn't hate Last Jedi as much as they say they did.
That was 56 seconds, I think.
Wow.
I had 53.
53
I started as soon as the soundbite ended.
I stopped breathing like halfway through that.
You did. You
She was
did. And
powered through it, though.
but
Powered through.
you know what?
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm actually impressed. I did a lot of like long ones for this.
Yeah, I
one.
saw that. I was like,
there
oh,
were
man.
some tongue twisters too.
There were.
I know. And a couple of typos.
Always typos. Ask them. That's part of the gauntlet is getting through my typos because I don't edit the outline. You get what you pay for, which is nothing because you don't pay for it.
Well, technically, I paid for it.
Damn.
You got, so did I. So shut up. And so did Brittany
So did Batman.
and Tony Stark. You did really well, and I thought I'm not judging you at all, but I thought you were going like a little slow. So I was like, I'm looking at the time, like, but all right.
No,
I'm
her
impressed.
pacing was good.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
It's like running a mile. She wasn't trying to beat a world record, but she was like, I'm going for consistency.
Yeah,
I'm gonna get there because if you go too fast, then nobody understands you.
that's true.
Like you gotta
You're the bottom of like an infomercial for like
exactly
like sciatica medication.
All right, guys. Well, Nikki, good job on being
Thank
the
you.
first ever, and you did it. So you're the bar. The bar is 53 seconds for a guest to do the Permitted Minute Gauntlet. So
All right.
we have to keep that in mind for future guests. Let's get to the Star Wars Rise of Skywalker trailer breakdown. And right before we started the show, we watched the trailer over again, so it's fresh in our heads. Before I get started, I know there's a little bit of like, are we really that hyped for this movie? Like, there was so
Yes.
much controversy about Last Jedi, and they're not like marketing this one well. Are we finally getting excited for Rise of Skywalker?
I think the people who were going to be excited about it are going to be excited about it no matter the marketing. I think at this point they're not trying to bring in new fans because they don't need to.
I mean, I'll see any Star Wars film ever. That's just a fact.
Miss crying
Doesn't matter
during
who
the
it's about.
trailer.
Hold on. Music makes me emotional. Also, like, Star Wars has a huge place in my heart. I'm sure you guys can agree.
Oh, yeah,
like,
100%.
the nostalgia hits me. And when they're talking about it being the end of the Skywalker saga and like all these things and all these characters are saying really dramatic things, and I'm just like crying.
Like I don't need
Okay.
to see a million commercials on television to be excited for this movie.
That's fair.
I mean, I'm excited just to see how they end it. And I know I talked about this in a previous episode, but I legit believe that they're not going to end this new trilogy in a satisfying way. That there's going to be a lot of dissension between people, fair or not. That, like honestly, and we'll get to it, I'm still very like, about them bringing the Emperor into this. I really am.
We'll see. I like the idea of bringing in the Emperor if they do it right. It all depends on if they do it right.
Yeah.
Yeah, if they do it.
If they do it now. Do it. Let's go through this trailer. It starts off with Rey running through what has to obviously be Endor.
Yes.
She kicks what looks like Leia's quite possibly like helmet that she loses.
Yeah, one of the rebel helmets
Yeah,
that they wore.
it could
on
be
the
anyone's,
speeder
but
bikes,
like
yeah.
you know, Leia loses
Or
hers.
did she take it off and throw it?
She could
Is
have.
she getting off a ship and she like dumped it down?
Yeah.
So it's either an old one or
Did
it's
she
one that
take it
just
off to say hello to Wicket?
Will there be Ewoks?
Oh my god, I have to. Remember the whoop whoop dance? I love that.
Whoop,
Whoop, whoop. I used to do that around dance fires campfires when I was little. I'd like dance around, do like the Ewok dance.
Yep.
Yeah.
Part of this they do is they do like a nice little cut. It's like she's running on Endor for 1 second, and then it cuts to her leaping onto something. What is obviously the Death Star 2's wreckage.
Yeah.
We know that's going to be very prominent in this film. What is she doing? Oh, and also not a forest planet she's running on either during some of this. Apparently Yavin 4 is going to be in the movie
A rebel base.
as well. And we know from if they're going through any of the expanded universe stuff that Yavin 4 is a very force sensitive planet, both with the light side and the dark side. What do you guys think is going on during this montage? Is she training? Is she just running from something? What do we think?
I'm holding out hope for a Force Ghost. I want Force Ghost Luke to be training.
Maybe.
I don't think it's ever going to happen. I just think it'd be
Oh,
fun.
I think 100% he's a Force Ghost in this movie.
Yeah,
no doubt.
I could definitely see Force Ghost Luke appearing in this movie.
Like, okay, run now, jump.
Exactly.
Pretend I'm climbing on your back, Ray. Let's go.
This is your destiny.
I mean, I don't think they would have him be doing the voiceovers for the trailer, and he's billed in the movie if he wasn't a Force Ghost in this, unless he's just Force voice.
Yeah.
Right.
And even
Like-
if it is the voice, it's still like, Luke, wake up.
You will go
Obi-Wan.
to the Dagobah system.
Dagobah.
There you will
Yoda.
train under Yoda. the
Meanwhile,
Jedi
Han's like,
Master,
let's
to
shove you
train
in this beast because I don't know. Hallucinating.
Oh, that scene still grosses me out in Empire.
Oh, I wanted to get one of those sleeping bags. The
I did
Tauntauns
too.
do.
Yeah.
They sold out really quickly.
Oh my
Fun
God.
fact, in the Battlefront games, you know the one where you can actually ride the Tauntauns and
Yeah.
like, get the creatures around? I think it's 2 or whatever. There was one time I was playing with my brother, and like we've played it so many times that for one time I just wanted to ride the Tauntaun around the map and like not even kill anybody, just for fun, to see if I could.
For fun.
In the last 5 minutes of the game, mind you, my brother was fighting everybody on his own, so like it was very hard for him to win because it was just like I wasn't helping at all, you know. I mean, it wasn't hard, but like it wasn't going as quickly as our games normally do.
Yeah.
But then someone shot my Tauntaun and it died.
Motherfucker.
And I literally went, "You shot my fucking Tauntaun!" And I went around, and I kid you not, I like slaughtered the last like 50 people on the map, all by myself. My brother was like, "Oh my God," and I was just like, "I wanted one thing, to ride my Tauntaun." Anyway, sorry, I yelled.
I like your anger.
But did you call inside it for warmth?
Let the hate flow through you.
Yes.
We go from her doing what we're all assuming here is I think we're all agreed some kind of training maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hard
It's
to know.
just good editing.
To looking, it's always good editing. What looks like a very cramped resistance base. You see Rose, Chewie, Poe, Finn, and then along with them in the background is Dominic Monaghan's character, who is in this movie, who, if you don't know, was Pippin, or I forget which one he was in
think you're
Lord of the
right.
Rings.
Or no, he was
no.
Mary.
He was Mary.
He was
Yeah.
Mary. Okay, so yeah,
I
Mary,
actually got him to send a message to my roommate for her birthday.
Nice.
through the-
Dragon Con.
No, actually, there's this website called Cameo where you can
Oh, yeah.
where you can pay stars to like send people messages.
Not really a whole lot to talk about with this resistance base. Obviously, it looks like they've gotten, more than the ragtag, like 20 people they had at the end of The Last Jedi. But not really a whole lot going on here, so we'll move on. Then it's Rey on the Death Star debris with Kylo walking out of the rain with his lightsaber. Now, this has been a topic from, I think, all of the trailers. Are they actually against each other, or is that them training together and teaming up and just working on their lightsaber skills?
I view it one of two ways. It's either the fight that happens before they go against the Emperor, when they realize like we need to just work together because there's something bigger than both of us that's going to kill everybody. Or it's after the Emperor is dead and they're like, it's their final fight of like, all right, it's time to like finish this once and for all.
Wouldn't it be cool if we got like Force Ghost Anakin to come back and be like, "Hey, Kylo, you think I'm awesome, right? The Emperor sucks. You should work with Ren."
Well, here's the thing. And this is actually goes right into this, the big running theory and rumors is that Rey is Anakin. Like that is a big theory right now that she is either like
Anakin
Anakin reborn, or a clone, or like has his soul. It's a running theory, but it's gaining a lot of traction. That's his lightsaber. It's not Luke's lightsaber. It is, but it's not. That is Anakin's original lightsaber.
Because we all know how much Kylo looks up to Darth Vader.
Yeah,
So
and
if
also,
there's anything that's going to get him to turn, it's going to be
why is there this massive connection between Kylo Ren and Rey? That's if it is Anakin, because that's then his grandfather.
I was like, one of the first things when the newest movie of this trilogy came out is I was always thinking it's immediately going to be like a Kylo Ren redemption arc.
Yeah.
Which would have made more sense. Like I mapped it all out in my mind. I was like, this is exactly how it should go. And then like didn't do that. So like, especially when he like stabs Han, there's so much emotion in that scene where you're just like, did he do this so he finally looks bad enough for the dark side to trust him, and then he's going to destroy them from the inside? And like, I thought that would be a really cool thing to happen.
Except killing your dad
They
is
tried
like
to I
the
know,
harshest
it's really
possible
bad.
thing
But
to
the fact
do.
that like Han said like it was okay. Like he knew his son was already going to kill him, and he said like it's okay, and then he stabs him. And of course there's that shock, but like there's so much to that I feel like JJ had something planned, and then
But
got
but
diverted.
then there's the revelation that JJ worked on Last Jedi
also.
with Rian Johnson. So I don't know. Who knows?
But like,
We're gonna find out.
well, it just comes down to two things. Like, basically, it's like, does she team up with Kylo and they defeat the bad guys together, or like, are they gonna just be fighting each other because? He basically said, like, oh, we can just rule the universe together. Who cares about light and dark? And she was like, no, that's stupid. People are going to die.
Yeah.
So we'll see. And I just hope I'm not disappointed by whatever they do.
That's the thing. Like, you don't want to, this is the end of the Skywalker saga. You don't want to leave this movie disappointed.
And I'm hoping, like, Rise of the Skywalker will be, like, pointing out the fact that Kylo Ren, he is also
He's a Skywalker. Yep.
So, like, is this a rise of him stepping up to finally, like, his familial legacy and actually finishing things out the way his mother and father probably would have wanted? Who knows?
We'll see. I want to know what this awesome space iceberg thing is that they're all those TIE fighters are flying at. Are we assuming that this is maybe the Emperor's secret base?
That sounds about right.
Yeah, I also agree with that, especially with like the Star Destroyer coming out of the
that iceberg.
Yeah.
I feel that's exactly. It's like some secret production facility or whatever. Blah 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 blah.
It's their version of Hoth.
Well,
I'm just kidding. That was the last movie. Sand.
sand.
I love that part.
Salt.
Sand.
It's
Salt.
salt.
Yeah, no. It was just like so horrible. I loved it. Salt.
It all, even though I don't think it all is very reminiscent to me of, if any of you, I know, Matt, I think you have read the Expanded Universe books, all of the stuff the Empire did in the Maw. And I'm still wondering if that is the Maw, and parts of it that we haven't seen yet. We got to finally see the Maw in Solo, and it's such a big part of the Expanded Universe. I'm dying to know what that iceberg is. Either way, it was an awesome shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
One of the coolest pieces of, I think, like art and set design that we've seen in this trailer is the Emperor's Throne,
For sure.
which is the original design of the Emperor's Throne from Ralph McQuarrie. I think that's how you pronounce his name. I swear to God, if I butcher that, I feel horrible because he's a legend. What do we think about that? That thing was awesome.
I think it's really cool.
It's a very cool
It
thing.
kind of looks like a lotus,
Yeah.
which like harkens back to the fact that George Lucas based a lot of this off of old
Yes, he
samurai
did.
films and stuff. So
We already talked about the that Star Destroyer breaking through what has to be ice. But
Yeah, I
but
think
at
it
the
is.
same time, during this trailer, we see Resistance fighters running like on the surface of these things without any mass. So this has got to be somewhere that has a breathable atmosphere. But we see that ice-based thing.
And they weren't in snow gear, were they?
No, they weren't. No, they were
So-
just in like regular gear.
and we know that they have
or
snow
maybe
gear.
it's like those foxes. They're just made of diamonds. The crystal fox.
Shine bright like a diamond.
The whole plant's made out of salt. It's not ice.
They're gonna look at it again and be like, salt.
Yeah, you just do that like the
It's even
whole
more
movie.
salt.
Even more salt.
This
it's
is
a
a
well-seasoned
snow joke.
planet.
This seems to be one of the sadder moments of the trailer with that new alien working on C-3PO, and Poe asks him, "What are you doing there, 3PO?" And he says, "Taking one last look at my friends." Now, I am very much of the opinion that 3PO, like at the end of Revenge of the Sith, has very important information. He's been throughout the whole entire rebellion, the New Republic, and the Resistance, getting his mind wiped again.
But the thing is, though, is that like 3PO has had like almost no impact on this new trilogy. Like, so basically, you're relying on the original trilogy nostalgia to feel sad about this, like not because of what he's done in the new trilogy. And and to me, that's kind of cheap. if
Maybe
that's what
he's the
they're doing.
MacGuffin. I mean, he's already golden shiny.
But is it going to be like
kidding.
with R2-D2 and there's a little disc and you can just put it back in and all of a sudden, hey, look, all my memories are back.
Yeah, maybe. I just like, we've seen in previous trailers he had the red eyes. So like,
Yeah.
are they making him a battle bot? Are they battle bots?
I'm just imagining
I'm going,
C-3PO
I'm going
into
to
battle.
kill many people.
No, you see, my name, it has human cyborg relations in it. This is not what they meant by relations. Like how episode 1 started with a diplomatic sort of thing going on. We have to reach a trade negotiation.
Oh God.
Oh my God.
Burns through the door. The separatists. Okay.
Oh man, the separatists. Oh, the freaking Trade Federation was so racist. Oh my God.
It was.
This one's a decoy.
This one's a decoy.
Any other theories on what could be going on with 3PO?
I could also see him doing some kind of like suicide mission or something like that. Like maybe they're rewiring like his self-preservation so that he'll actually like blow himself up or do something
if they have to go down fighting, or
something like that.
Or maybe he's just like prepared for the worst, and he's like, "This might be the last time I see."
Yeah,
one of my
he's just
friends."
being a big old drama queen.
He really is, though.
Yeah, he's like, I could die.
I do believe they think I'm a god. And he did say to R2 in the first movie, "It does seem that suffering is our lot in life."
yeah.
So, I mean, maybe his story is suffering. Sorry.
Not that anybody cares.
No.
Nope.
This is what got me like the most amount of goosebumps during this trailer. Luke's non-grumpy Luke voiceover, just like it sounds like him as Luke again.
Yes, thank God.
Yes.
Listen, I am a grumpy Luke sympathizer. I think it worked for Last Jedi. I understand it. I have my theories as to why. I like how Rian Johnson made the character, but hearing him sound optimistic in this trailer was just like, that's Luke Skywalker. That's a Jedi Master. That's the guy who, beat the Emperor and won the rebellion. And,
Kissed his sister.
I wonder if he's going to drink any more blue milk. Every trilogy, he's been drinking some sort of milk.
Force Ghost blue milk.
He says, though, it tastes better than the last time.
Maybe that's what they meant when they called it. Wasn't the original name Blue Harvest?
It was, yeah.
They were just harvesting milk. No. It comes full circle.
No, Force Ghost Luke appears.
Something, dark side.
Force Ghost Luke appears, and he just takes a big swig of milk, and he just looks at Rey like, yeah, the Force is in you. Go. I got stuff to do.
During this Luke's voiceover, they're in the original Death Star 2 throne room where, Luke fought off against, his dad, Darth Vader. Then, Vader throws him off the edge. We're kind of going back to the beginning of the trailer here where they're together. What are they doing in here? Why do we think they're on the second Death Star? Why are they at this wreckage?
Because the Emperor is also a big drama queen, and he has discovered that
It comes full circle.
he's like, this is the most dramatic place I could have this showdown.
Yep, that's
and it's
probably it.
That's exactly
it's going to
it.
be the thing that's
He's like-
going to make you feel the worst.
Both of you prove yourselves now. And one of you don't wear a black suit and dramatically flap open the white spot at the end just to show us you were good the whole time.
I picture the Emperor like setting up things like that, talking to his stormtroopers, where we're like, "You're going to funnel them into my throne room, but my lord, we could just shoot them outside. It'll be more dramatic when they're in here with me. Make them go down
But
into the
think
depths
of the
ocean."
psychological damage.
It's like, well, it's like Voldemort. You could just kill Harry Potter when he's a baby, like when he's like
No,
2.
no, is it finals week?
No.
I'm worried about his grades. He needs to pass those owls.
I know. We have to be as dramatic as humanly possible.
And then to wrap this whole thing up, you have Luke saying the classic Obi-Wan line, "The Force will be with you." And then, oh my God, Space Mom Leia goes, always. And I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about it right now.
Remember, kids, Space Mom says, take your meds and stay hydrated.
I love her.
But I think it's oddly fitting that it's Luke saying that with Leia, and it's focused on Rey with her blue lightsaber.
It is.
I think they are strongly hinting at this Skywalker connection between Rey. Her parents weren't junkers. She is someone of importance.
I still wouldn't like that. I really
Or
wouldn't.
anyone can be a Skywalker.
I'm torn. I'm legitimately torn because I do like the idea of her being a nobody. I think we talked about this a long time ago about how, it's refreshing that someone could be strong and not be somebody.
Yeah.
At the same time, this is the Skywalker saga, and to have her be nobody is also just a little bit strange and be so. I'm not calling her Mary Sue. Fuck anybody who calls her Mary Sue, but you have to wonder how she is that good.
Now, I would actually be okay if they went the route of Anakin was essentially reborn into Rey. I'd actually be like, all right, that
Anakin's always meant to exist.
Yeah, well,
the
that's the
Force
thing.
simply brings him to life.
Anakin, it's not a question. Anakin was the chosen one. That means that he is the strongest Force user.
The Force created
ever.
him to bring balance to the Force.
Yes.
Yeah, and I would be okay if they said Rey, you're the child of nobodies, but in your soul, or energy or whatever you want to call it, is Anakin. I'd be okay with that. I wouldn't be okay if you're the clone of,
or the clone of the Emperor.
Clone of the Emperor.
Yeah.
You're the clone of Obi-Wan. You're this. You're that. Once again, as I said, that takes away the idea that the Force can choose people to be great.
You're the clone of one New Zealand guy. It's Camino.
Taika Waititi?
Yeah.
Not quite.
What do you think?
The other one.
I I'm hoping that it's going to be the soul thing. I have a feeling it's probably going to be the clone thing, but I have high hopes because I feel so when George started his trilogy, he didn't know where the heck he was going with it.
Facts.
So we all know this. So I'm hoping that when JJ started this, he knew where he was going. He had it all planned out. I mean, it's JJ, so I'm assuming he did.
You have to remember that JJ isn't just like some guy that they got to do these movies.
Yeah.
JJ is a hardcore Star Wars nerd.
So I have to have belief that he had a plan, and it's going to be something that's going to blow us away the way that he usually does.
Is it going to be like the plan to blow up the Death Star in every trilogy? Maybe.
There was no giant space station in the prequel trilogies, to their credit.
The thing is though is that
Except
no
the Trade
moon.
Federation
That's no
thing.
moon.
JJ being a huge
space
fan can be actually a detriment because
It-
think of all the crappy fan fiction that you have possibly read on the internet, which I have, and I've even
I
written
have
some
too,
in my
but
life.
I found no faults.
No shame there.
No faults in Force Awakens.
Oh, no faults in these Star Wars?
There's plenty of faults.
Just kidding. I
We
don't
can
even
spend
know
an
what that
entire
movie
episode
is.
talking faults.
I
but-
love Force
If
Awakens.
you want to talk
I'm
about
not
faults,
saying,
we
I'm
can
not saying
review
the movie's
that
perfect, but
Rock
I'm
movie
saying
again.
there's like no like we're gonna get there. You're getting ahead of yourself. I'm just saying that it was a love story to Star Wars,
Yeah.
and it was fantastic.
Yeah.
Can I mention the moments when I cried? Just because I led the audience to believe I was
Like
going to
maybe
talk
say
about
for
that.
example all of them.
Example, when the music first swells in the beginning, start tearing up. By the time CPO says his line about seeing his friends the last time, I got tears literally starting to come out of my eyeballs. And then by the time Leia says always, full on tears. I am like,
And I just hear Brittany in the background. Oh, I'm crying again.
I can't help it. When she says always, I'm like, okay. Maybe it's like harder because she also died, like in real life.
Yeah.
I
Are
think
we
that's
going
what
to
gets
get
me.
to see the Skywalker Force Ghost twins?
Well, is she going to die in this movie? Because apparently she's got a major role. Like she's
So,
prominent in this movie. She's got
I
top
just-
billing
I
for the
wanna
movie.
know.
Are they going to play like the celebration song at the end of the Endor thing?
I love that. That was not the original music. They added like a whole. Getting so off track.
Yeah. A little.
Anyway, Rise of Skywalker comes out December 21st. Tickets are on sale now. Buy them, get them, give Disney all your money, and support the Empire. That's all. No,
Give
Here's
more
some
money,
money.
to
Go see a Star Wars.
we
give
will
more
be
money to Disney Plus and watch the Star Wars television show.
Fun fact: when I was still in the military, like our retention NCO had a big poster outside their office that said "Crush the Rebellion, Stay Empire."
Dun, dun, dun.
I put my
Uncle Owen, everybody else has gone to the academy. Dude.
Oh,
But actually,
I put my rebellion tattoo on the Star Wars subreddit, and like 90% of the comments were rebel scum.
I just want to go to Tashi Station and pick up some power converters.
Exactly.
oh my god!
So yeah, Rise of
Oh,
Skywalker, December 21st, the end of the Skywalker saga. Before that, though, we have Mandalorian coming out to get excited about too. So
Yes.
It never has to end.
it never has to.
It never will end.
No,
That's-
it won't.
that's what's
Not as
going
long as that Disney money's coming
As long
in.
as there's a star, there will be a war.
We're gonna go from one movie franchise to a
To surprisingly another.
surprisingly
on.
another.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Because it is time for the return of Raiders of the Bargain Bin.
Dormammu, I've come to bargain.
It's back, Matt.
yes, I know.
It's back.
It's back. Oh my god.
I am so happy right now.
When Nikki sent that photo, I seriously thought it was the newer Jumanji, and I was like, "All right, you know what? I haven't seen it. It might be a good."
you
movie."
haven't seen it?
No, I haven't.
Oh, it's so
I
good.
saw it said Journey 2, and I was like, there was a Journey 1.
Oh, we'll get to that.
Well,
will
yeah, we
certainly
found
get
out
to
that this was the sequel to the Brendan Fraser one, where I thought there was one that was made with The Rock.
You know, it's funny. The bargain bin came back, but Brendan Fraser didn't. Oh, I'm sorry. He actually has been through a lot, so that wasn't a joke against him. But
No,
Nikki-
I was
Funny
so
sequel.
happy.
Nikki, tell us how you went about finding
So-
Journey 2.
I was on the hunt for
Red October.
close, but not actually. I was trying to see if Best Buy would let me order the Steelbook of Good Omens, which apparently you can only buy on Amazon UK. Which
Yeah, it's only I want to get it too.
no, my roommate ordered it. Thank God, because that's a whole. Don't get me started on Good Omens. We will be here all day. But
We already did that episode, damn it.
I know.
I know.
We did.
But I was on the hunt for that, and then I also needed an HDMI cable. So they didn't.
Can never have too
I
many.
think I have a spare one.
I couldn't order the Steelbook through Best Buy, but they had the HDMI cable, of course. So I'm like, okay, fine, I'll just buy this and I'll be sad. So I'm walking through and I'm like, oh, Best Buy has bargain bins. And I knew that I was going to get to pick this movie. And I was like, oh, maybe if I find one here, I won't have to go to Walmart. Because
us lowly plebeians who live 5 minutes away.
My life journey is, avoiding Walmart. So I'm digging.
As all of our lives
and
should
I'm
be.
digging and I'm digging. And I found Mrs. Doubtfire and I'm like, no. I'm
myself-
buying this, but this is too good of a movie. Plus, everybody's seen it, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
I hope so.
I saw it in
I
theaters.
find myself
Yeah.
more often than not having a journey to Walmart.
So, but then I saw it and I saw The Rock first. And I was like, yes, please tell me this is what I think it is. And I'm like, yes, it is. I'm like, okay, there's no way that I am passing this up. It's $5. It's a bargain bin. It counts.
It does, and I can sum up this movie with two things, and that's time for the Thunder Cookie and the Rock's Pecks, and we're gonna get to all that.
Yes.
The Rock's Pecks is in everybody's top 3 of this
Oh
film.
my god.
Yes, let's start.
The second is the over-sexualization of Vanessa Hudgens.
Oh my god.
For no reason.
And that's
You
just
see her
hip bones.
You see her hips more than you see her face.
Her hip bones get top billing.
We can say that they over-sexualize the Rock's Pecks too.
Oh,
though.
that too.
Like
I think he
I
was
think
in on
he
it, though.
paid them extra to over-sexualize them.
he had to.
Throw a berry at
He
it.
was a co-producer of the film. Let's get to the Rotten Tomatoes score first. The critic score was a 44%, and the audience score, surprisingly, 59%. That's over half of the people that saw this enjoyed it.
Like what?
because of how much you can laugh at it.
Yeah. It was hilarious.
I mean, I would not give this score a 59%.
No,
on
not
Rotten
at all.
Tomatoes.
Not at all.
And I think that the critic score, for being honest, is a little bit too generous at 44% as well.
What critics were like, oh, this is a good movie. It's all right.
It made money.
I know.
Matt, yeah, you
It
have the
made-
numbers.
Yeah, all right. So its budget was $79 million, and it made $335.3 million.
It had to be the sheer amount of children.
It did.
And
I mean,
parents that went to see it 3 times are like, just God, watch The Rock.
or
please.
the lonely housewives that go in to see The Rock and his pecs.
And seeing as it's a sequel, I think this shows, what our society has changed and what they're looking for in their male leads. Because, first movie you have Brendan Fraser, who was very much a 90s kind of heartthrob.
Yeah.
He's kind of rugged, but he's kind of lean. And then, going into the 2000s, no, you want The Rock.
well, and then and Brendan Fraser also fell off the face of the planet for
Yeah.
a really
Yeah.
long time as well.
Now he's in what, Doom Patrol, I think.
he is in Doom Patrol.
he fell off for some serious reasons, though.
Oh, yeah,
He was
drugs and
No, he was
abused.
abused.
Oh,
So you know how he was super fit for George of the Jungle and
Yeah.
stuff like that? Like Hollywood messed this dude up.
Oh,
Yeah.
He's not okay.
Oh my god, I
So,
forgot about George of the Jungle.
He took a hiatus to work
saw
on
that
himself,
in
and he's
I'm so
healthier,
sorry.
He's
I
doing
know.
better, but
But no,
Yeah.
they found The Rock, and I think the housewives of the world were saying, "Oh, you want to go see a movie? Let's go see this."
Well, let's get into the Thunder Cookies of this
The
movie.
Thunder Cookie.
And Nikki, we'll start with you, your review and your thoughts.
This is probably one of the most ridiculous movies I've ever seen in my life. If you want a movie that you can just laugh at and mock for about an hour and a half, this is the movie for you. It's post Hunger Games.
Post Hunger Games.
Post Hunger Games. So you've got Peter Malark, the baker boy, just
as
being
a giant fucking douche.
he really
You're not my-
is.
You're
he's
not
a
my
more moody
dad,
teenager
bro.
than the one that's
He-
stuck in
yes.
a horrible society, a dystopian
No,
society.
he is the worst emo teen who's like, no, I have a purpose. I have to go to the island.
I don't know who I am when I'm not in the center of the earth. I need to go back to the center of the earth.
It's like, you're not my dad. You're my legal guardian, and you're not okay. Oh wait, you want to finance my journey to this random island?
That was
Then-
one of my favorite parts of the
Okay,
movie.
now we're okay.
When they're trying to charter a boat, and Josh Hutcherson is just
It's
like,
like
"I'll give you
$2,000.
$1,000," and Vanessa
$3,000.
Hudgens is like $3,000, and he's like, "All right, excuse me, where's your money coming from?"
And he just looks at me, and he looks at her. He's like, please.
And the Rock's
Matt,
just like,
you're
you take
you're
Rizzo.
you're honorably discharged. I don't think the money's that good.
No, it's certainly
Well,
unless The Rock's getting that sweet
He-
disability.
He
but-
runs his own construction company, but I thought it was a ridiculous script. It was a ridiculous concept. There was no science that made sense, but
There was science.
It made
No.
less scientific sense than the books that were trying to guess at what science could
physics
be.
don't belong on the island. But it was funny, and I got to watch the Rock jiggle his pecs
And shoot
For a
cherries with
scene that
them.
was far too long, by the way. It's like a 5-minute long scene.
CGI cherries or whatever.
being popped off of his
like
pecs. in
3D into the camera.
Hey, ladies, if you want to see The Rock pop some cherries, check out this film. I'm sorry, we can't.
but
God damn.
it's ridiculously stupid. Was it worth the $5 I paid for it? I think so. Was it worth the $50 I paid to make you people watch it? Definitely.
It was one of 3 scenes that absolutely Brittany, you guys can't obviously, but Brittany is dying right now. She is broken. She has lost it. The Rock has broken Brittany.
The Rock popped your cherry.
Oh,
The
no.
Rock smashed Brittany open. Smashed Brittany open.
I'm
yeah,
crying, though.
that was one of 3 scenes that went on far too long. Matt, let's
2 of them included The Rock.
yes. Matt, let's move
Yeah,
on.
this movie pretty much should have been called
you.
Journey to the too long scene, because like some of the scenes just went on so
Yeah.
long, and it was to the point where I was like, oh god, just end this scene please. Like
The bee
chair,
flying?
yeah, like oh my, the cherry scene definitely came to mind, where I was like, all right, we get it. Like the Rock is really built and can pop stuff off of his pecs. Thank you, director.
Like,
whoever-
one was just like, okay, I get the joke. And then he was like, no, throw a bunch. And then you're just like, oh, I can't.
and then Luis Guzman comes over and is like,
Rapid
I'll
fire.
feed him. Starts
It was
throwing
like an
them at
old
him.
wind-up chain minigun. It's
Like the machine that shoots tennis balls at you.
It was their
Yes.
way of justifying making people
So-
pay for 3D.
It's like that toy that Caleb got for his birthday, the construction thing that pops out the ball.
Yeah.
I'm putting this out there, by the way. So we've had so far in our bargain bin adventures, we've had Michael Caine twice, The Rock twice. So I'm going to put this out there. The director, his name is Brad Payton. You know what else he directed?
oh, God.
The Last Witch Hunter.
San Andreas.
Fuck yeah.
My God. That's why this one felt like a disaster movie halfway through. He's like, the island is going to sink. What?
well, and we found out that the
In 3
directors,
days.
The producers,
one of them is a gun brother.
2 of them are gun brothers, right?
Well,
No.
one of them is a brother, the other one is a cousin.
So you got guns working on it, but they're not the Guardians of the Galaxy
No.
guns.
No,
Not
It's the lesser known guns.
The Rock brings the guns. Don't worry about
Yeah.
that.
just the wrong ones.
So basically, it's like The Rock's guns work on like Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
Josh Hutchinson's guns did this film.
basically.
Oh god.
That was a muscle joke.
But yeah, also this movie, as we already mentioned, uncomfortably sexualized Vanessa Hudgens. Oh my god! Like, I'm glad I wasn't the. I think Nikki also said it at the same time. Like when she was first in those shorts,
Yeah.
and you could see her hip bones,
Like that,
Really?
like you
like-
could like
Oh.
see like
cut lines.
It's 2011. Nobody wore their pants that
No.
low then. Like
No.
that was like an early 2001. People were doing that like low jean, like weird thong combo, whatever the heck that was.
yeah.
That was like
But, like,
Christina Aguilera,
exactly.
like dirty kind of
Yeah.
shorts, and
And we were just like,
we
this poor girl.
felt dirty.
Yeah, I actually started feeling uncomfortable because
Yeah.
there were parts of this movie where I was quite certain that the director was like, cut, stop, her pants are her shorts are up too high, pull them down,
The
Vanessa.
only time they're pulled up and her shirt's tucked in is when she's falling from the bee.
Yeah.
And we were just
Yeah.
like, oh, thank God, she looks like a normal human wearing clothes. Like
the fact that they
she
were
probably
they
was like, my pants are gonna fall down.
that they
if I
were
do this.
decent enough to let her have her
Sure.
her shirt tucked in for that scene is miraculous.
and I think we all made the connection of it's almost like The Rock like took what happened with Vanessa Hudgens into the Jumanji movie with Karen
Yeah,
Gillan.
like,
Was
critique
like
it.
like Karen, go ahead and make some quip about your attire because one of my former co-stars had to suffer through it.
She wears literally like the same outfit.
Almost the
Because you
same
wonder why
outfit, yeah.
like she's wearing that like kind of crop top and like those
Yeah.
really short shorts, and then you're like, oh,
Just no leather halter.
Journey 2.
Karen had a whole theory about how Jumanji is like
connected
an
universe.
off sequel to Journey 2.
It's a critique on Journey 2.
This-
The Rock
thi-
is like, I had to do these films. This walked so
Yeah.
Jumanji could run.
Yeah,
This was a cinematic universe they were building. Like I was reading, they were supposed to have like 2 sequels.
They
Journey
set
to the
up
moon.
They set up
Journey
the
to the
third.
Moon, and thank God that never got made.
Yeah, even though this movie made more money than the first one, apparently they said the reason they didn't make the third movie is because there wasn't, quote, enough interest, which is kind of funny because when a movie makes money, that to me is your interest.
He wanted to give it a thunder cookie.
Maybe
Pow,
there
straight
wasn't
to the moon.
interest from the actors.
They made another Terminator movie, and those didn't make any money in like the past 2 ones. And to the credit, that's getting good reviews.
Who was right?
Yeah, well, we'll go see it.
It's
We'll
me
see it on
still
Sunday.
very
I can't wait to
skeptical.
see that movie.
Dark
Yeah.
Fate.
I'm sorry. You tell me Sarah Connor's in it. I'm back.
See, that's like the whole reason I don't want to see the movie. Like, I don't need senior citizen Sarah Connor like shooting a bazooka and possibly breaking her
But
hip.
Halloween did really well, and they did that exact thing.
Ladies and
with
gentlemen,
Jamie Lee Curtis.
we're
that
straying from The
movie-
Rock.
we are.
We're leaving the
well,
glory
let's-
that is The Rock.
Sorry, we're
Brittany,
distracted. What?
Rock My World.
But is Matt done?
I think Matt was
Wanna make
done.
sure-
Yeah,
he is.
I'm good. I'm good.
Okay. Where do I begin? Journey 2 is a lot of fun to watch with people. I haven't even seen the first one, so I had nothing to compare it to. And then I couldn't get over the fact that they replaced, like, I mean, not literally Brendan Fraser's, like, character, but, like, basically, like, him as the main person with The Rock. And the only thing is just, like, you're my stepdad now.
Legal
I hate
guardian.
you. Legal guardian. Like, it's over the top.
But Brendan Fraser was supposed to be his uncle, right?
Yeah, I
He's
know.
Josh
That's why I said it
Hutchinson's
didn't replace the
uncle,
exact person.
and The Rock is his stepdad.
Yeah.
And
but, like,
his
they
actual
replaced the
father's
father
dead.
figure
Yes.
with, like,
This
The
kid's
Rock.
had a really rough childhood.
I know,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, that explains his idiocy.
I mean,
Um,
but I mean, how awesome though is his family though? The Rock is his stepdad. Michael Caine is his granddad.
I know, right?
I mean,
I'm like-
Brendan Fraser, is his uncle. Like, all right, you're pretty good, bro.
Yeah, I will agree that a lot of the scenes are like a little too long. Like at some different parts, them riding the bees, it's like so like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, and I was just like, this is so bad. It didn't even do it in that like good quirky way.
Well, the bees are huge. The ants are tiny.
Dude, there was inconsistency with like, so you guys that may not have watched this, the premise of the film is that in these 3 like prominent fantasy sci-fi books that have come out, a long time ago, each has talked about a different island, like in Gulliver's Travels or like the Mysterious Island, stuff like that. And they take the maps from the beginning of each of those books and realize, oh, if you connect them all together, they were actually each showed like a third of the island. It is one really big island that magically, I don't know who published these books and how they all talk to each other about like layering the maps for this to make any sense. But anyway, they decipher it and they find out the
Illuminati.
exact coordinates in the Pacific. They go on this adventure. I'm like, cool, whatever. It's just an excuse to get to some like Jules Vernean island, whatever. They get there.
Atlantis.
The rules. I'm so mad because it's like they try to combine every single sort of like weird Jules Verne or like older fantasy book together. Anything that mentioned an island, like might as well have been the island of fucking Dr. Moreau. Also,
That would
They
have been a
didn't
good
do
movie.
That's what I joked about. I was like, oh, are they gonna pull out the?
Could have gotten
Dr.
Val
Moreau
Kilmer
next?
in it. And
no.
Marlon Brando.
But on the island, like he mentions, because he's like a book nerd or whatever, Josh Hutchinson's character like goes through and he's like, oh yeah, on the island, like big things are small and small things are big, like animal wise and stuff like that, like plant life. But they don't consistently do it throughout the film. There's still normal trees and normal plants. Randomly in different parts, there's suddenly giant flowers and giant bees. And like they didn't keep it up with the insects at all. Like they
No.
had 2 giant centipedes, and then like later on when she comes across like a skull while crawling through a hole in the cave, then all of a
They're
sudden there's normal
tiny.
size. And I was like, who?
I don't
But
give a shit
what?
though because baby elephants.
we got
Yeah,
we got
baby
puppy
elephants.
we got
elephants.
we got puppy elephants.
You got a pack of pachyderms, puppy pachyderms,
Yeah, puppy
puppaderms. Anyway, so that was fun because I just like pointing out the inconsistencies. It is a lot of fun though. It's really horrible. Like I think it was you're just showcasing all of the Rock's talents. They're like, and now sing this song. Do some stereotypical like Hawaiian stuff, even though you're Samoan.
Yeah.
Like do anything to promote this culture. I really like certain aspects of it. Like the Nautilus was really cool.
It was
The person-
really cool.
You can tell a lot of people that worked on like the set design really liked Jules Verne books, or at least like were influenced and knew what they were doing. It just had
And
no
wanted the movie to be
place
successful.
to be in this film. And they come across Atlantis is apparently in the middle of this island. I'm sorry, you're telling me this is what is this the lost island in the Lemurian Sea? Like, no.
I also think they
Yeah.
just gave Michael Caine a lot of coffee and didn't give him a script.
Not one
But
bit.
it makes no sense
Yep.
because Atlantis is supposedly off like the coast of Madagascar. That's like where Lemuria is supposed to be. And this is suddenly in the middle of the Pacific, and you're supposed to think that I think this is Atlantis? Anyway, and it was written in like English Atlantis.
It was
That's
like
annoying.
barely any.
But the A's
yeah.
didn't have the line through it. I'm like, okay,
And the
Stargate.
S was like, yeah, hey.
No, I love
Okay.
I love
All right,
Stargate.
all
I love
right,
Stargate.
all right.
I love Stargate.
There are going to be some fighting
I was
words.
giving you a high five.
All right,
I was letting you know it's
all
okay.
All right.
I just meant
That was a
Stargate
close
did it
call
better.
there. Yes, they did.
either
Yes,
way.
they
They
did.
use an electric eel to power the Nautilus, and I was just like, the Rock literally throws a spear at it in the water.
Stealing my thunder.
I'm sorry, but anyway, overall, fun to laugh at. Yeah, don't watch it if you actually care about anything.
Don't take this movie seriously, please.
That's the best part. Don't take it seriously. Go ahead, bud. Sorry, I love sci-fi and fantasy so much.
This movie for me is summed up by the scene that you just talked about, where The Rock is like sitting on or standing on the hull of the Nautilus, and he's got a submersive helmet on and still in his like sweaty skin tight shirt with a fucking spear like of Atlantis or whatever the hell you want to call it.
I think.
Harpoon.
Just not the gun.
And like is staring down a massive electric eel that's going to jumpstart the Nautilus because they're hot wiring a car basically, and he chucks it like he's Jason fucking Momoa. Exactly. And all of us are like, physics.
Yeah.
Yep.
That thing is gonna go a foot and then just slowly sink. Sorry, not the way things work.
Yeah.
It's also summed up to me by Michael Caine.
Yes.
The best part of this
Michael
whole time.
Caine's Treehouse of Horrors.
Literally his Treehouse of Horrors with his literally he was like, I have a 75-inch HD TV. It's literally a window of him watching a volcano going to erupt. Something's wrong with Michael Caine.
And erupts molten gold. Don't forget.
And he sets up his house like somebody's gonna visit.
Yeah, exactly. But the best part of this movie was him just like low blowing The Rock multiple times with all these quips and like how he's not a good father figure and how he's a giant asshole and keeps calling him the wrong name. I'm like, I love you, Michael Caine. You've been in like all of my favorite movies, and now you're dissing The Rock.
And The Rock disses him
he was
right
a
back, which is great.
he
It's like,
doesn't.
no, we can't have senior old ladies like riding bumblebees.
He's like,
It's
Medicare
not
doesn't
okay.
cover old ladies falling off bumblebees, and he's like, fuck you, I'm still a bumblebee.
Good one, Rock.
It's Hank.
This is not the worst bargain bin movie we
No.
watched
Oh, no, it was
by far.
fun. It was so fun.
This was fun. It was awful for all intents and
Yes.
purposes.
Yeah, it's terrible.
But it was really fun. I do have to say I hate what's his name? Comic relief guy.
Josh Hutchinson?
no, he's
No,
talking
the
about
other
Luis
dude,
Guzman.
yeah.
Luis
I think.
Guzman. I hate him. I hate him in everything.
The only movie I've ever liked him in was the movie Waiting.
I haven't seen that. I don't
That
think.
is
Oh,
an
yeah.
amazing movie. If you ever worked in the service
Yeah.
industry,
Yeah.
Waiting
Is that the one
a
with Kerry
must-see.
Russell? No.
No, it's Ryan Reynolds.
Oh yes,
Ryan
I've seen
Reynolds.
Waiting.
Yeah,
Yes.
Waiting is an amazing movie. I love Waiting.
Iconic.
No, that's Waitress. The
Yes,
one you're thinking of.
you're right. Yeah, but The Rock and that spear at the end, I was just like, okay. And then like he's like shining the light like to get the eel too, and he's like,
And then like
That's a bad idea.
And The Rock keeps like The Rock somehow has the ability to figure out the island is going to sink based off like judging by the amount of salt water that's been
Soil-
Soil,
that word?
soil
What?
liquefaction.
Soil liquefaction.
Yeah, like liquefaction or liquefaction. I think it's liquefaction.
I don't know.
No, it
Liquid,
was.
liquidification. It was.
Can we just also say that the movie should have ended 15 minutes into it when they all crashed?
Yeah.
There's no way you survived that helicopter crash. And it
No.
went to black, and I'm like, credits roll, guys. Let's go
They all
review the
should have
movie.
died like 20 times.
Or like the whole goal of the kid. I know we pointed this out a few times. He just wanted to find the island and find his grandpa, and that happens right when they land on the island. Like a day in, they find the grandpa. So you're like, that's it. That's the whole film. You didn't express that you wanted to solve some mystery on the island, or suddenly it's
Well,
gonna
then they're
sink.
like, okay, we're stuck here for 2 weeks. And it's like, okay. And it's like, no, we only have 3 days. Oh, wait, we only had 12 hours.
We can't.
You
go
know what
to the
I'd
mountain.
like to see happen? I'd like to see this film franchise get rebooted with National Treasure.
Oh my
yeah.
god.
Oh, yeah.
gonna
Let's
go
bring
Nicolas
Nicolas
Cage.
Cage into this.
We're gonna steal the Declaration of Atlantis.
Yeah, let's do
Independence.
it. Guys, this was a good one. Let's see where it ranks for our bargain bin film so far. We're gonna do the good old bargain bin meter score. Nikki, you are the purchaser, the guest. We will start with you. The bargain bin meter score goes as follows: the lowest score, garage sale, dollar store, Walmart, Target, Best Buy, and then the honorary has yet to happen, maybe never will, full price.
I mean, I did technically get it at Best Buy. I don't know if I'd rate it as a Best Buy.
Yeah.
But I'd put it in a Walmart,
Okay.
maybe Target.
All right.
Well, I feel Walmart is pretty fair.
Okay. Matt?
So I'm very torn because I want to say dollar store, but also Walmart. Like I'm kind of like juggling between the two because like the movie was a jumbled freaking mess. Like it didn't know what it wanted to do. Like as Brittany said, it's like they just wanted to say like, how can we do Jules Verne's like the island stuff? We'll throw something together.
Yeah, all the islands are the same.
Yeah, we'll get The Rock in there, Michael Caine, and then the movie will just happen.
Kids
That's
will
what-
love it.
Yeah, the kids will love it. So I will tentatively say Walmart just because like there was some good production values. Like it
Was there? That CG was pretty fucking shoddy.
Even for 2011.
No, it definitely was, but I also agree with Brittany. Like the Nautilus was really
it was.
cool. I liked the Nautilus and all that. And I mean, at least like the scenes in the jungle and all that stuff like that, I wasn't like, all right, they're very clearly on a soundstage doing dumb shit on a soundstage.
Like you could see like the mechanisms when like the rocks are like coming up at the end of the movie and
Yeah.
like the way they're jumping. It's like
I mean, it wasn't like once again, like
Or
it
that was CG.
Like I've seen,
don't think so.
I've seen worse movies, and there was some competency behind the making of this movie.
People
I'm not
definitely
saying-
worked on it.
Yeah, there were like I'm not saying it was all good by any stretch of the imagination, but I will tentatively say Walmart.
I will also say Walmart because it wasn't like friend request. This was definitely somebody wrote this in their college years and then tried to make it a film. It was just a sequel that really didn't know what it was going to do. So, but it like quality wise, it is something I'd expect to see in like the $5 bargain bin at Walmart. Best Buy, it's no steelbook.
It's no steelbook. You guys are too generous. I feel like I'm usually the generous one here. I'm going dollar store. This belongs in a dollar store. Easy for me. Not to say like like you guys said, it had some production value. The Rock starring in it, but it sucked.
It is.
Yeah, it did. Oh, it did.
It didn't garage sale suck. It did dollar store suck.
I don't know.
I
Dollar
found-
store always means something else to me.
I found it more entertaining than The Last Witch Hunter. That's honestly.
but I think I gave that dollar store as well.
I think we gave it Walmart.
Oh,
I
maybe.
think we gave Last Witch Hunter Walmart, which I really regret now.
But this,
To this day, I regret
we had no
that.
gauge at first.
No,
we
we
didn't.
didn't.
We did not have a gauge. We did not. But I think it. I don't know. I'm sticking with dollar store.
No, I get you. I feel you.
That's it for this edition of Raiders of the Bargain Bin. I think we talked about doing a Raiders of the Bargain Bin Hall of Fame at some point, didn't we?
I
best
think we've loosely discussed it.
Loosely
That could
discussed
be
it.
fun.
Yeah.
Just
yeah.
like the plot for this film, they loosely discussed it. Guys, you missed so many good jokes. I wish we could have like recorded live. You wouldn't want to hear us talk about this movie the whole like hour and a half it was playing, but
One day
had
we will
some
do a
really
riff
good
tracks.
jokes.
One day we have to find the
So
right
good.
movie.
Yeah.
I made your wife laugh quite a few times.
You did. You did.
It was
That's
great.
not hard though.
I know, but like they were really bad puns.
Nikki, you are our guest. You are one of our producers. So before I do our outro here, I will give you the last word.
I'm just really glad to be here, and I'm glad that I got to make you all watch a really horrible movie, and it was a fun time. And long live EIP.
Yay! Long live EIP. That does it for episode 36. We will be back next week post Halloween, so we might have some cool Halloween stories to tell. That is going to do it. We'll see you next week. Have a good night.
You can find Everything is Permitted on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and YouTube. Everything is Permitted is produced by Rob Migliaccio, Niki Veasey, and Geneva Stein-Shivers. Our executive producers are Michael Cox, Brittany Tomes and the Tomes family, and Julian Brown.